G'day folks, Jim Langs here from FX Charts with the foreign exchange update for the Finance News Network for the 19th of April on behalf of Axis Trader. As usual with these reports, any view is a personal one only and not meant to be used as trading advice. Okay, so with the exception of sterling last night, it was a pretty range-bound market ahead of the important Spanish 10-year bond auction later on today. Sterling soared after the release of the Bank of England's MPC minutes when one of the committee members, Adam Poston, changed his long-term adhesion to adding liquidity to the economy and turned neutral, suggesting that there'll be no further easing in monetary policy through central bank bond purchases. So sterling moved up to 160.40, I think was its highest, currently trading at about 160.20. But it also had a good day on the crosses, and euro sterling is under severe pressure there at 81 3/4. Likewise, sterling Aussie, that's very bid. It's currently at 154.70, but if it gets through 155, I think it could go a fair bit higher. Otherwise, there was a little of directional news today. The Spanish bond auction is going to determine everything later on in the session, and the outcome there doesn't necessarily look all that pretty, really, as Spanish equities closed down 4% on the day. The euro, though, it's at the same levels as this time yesterday. It looks pretty nervous. It's currently holding support at 130.30, but if it goes through there, I think it'll head towards 129.70. And if it gets below that, we're going to see quite a directional move. But having said that, if if the Spanish bond auction turns out all right later on, we're going to see a bounce in the euro, and then we're really back into the 130, 133 range. The same applies to the Aussie, really, and that's going to take its direction from the bond auction as risk sentiment rules the roost there, and we may end up in a 102, 2.5, 104.5 range. But the market's beginning to look towards the domestic CPI data that's due out on the 24th of April, which, as Governor Stevens has said, the RBA will be looking at with a view to changing or not in the interest rate policy. Elsewhere, there was some yen weakness, and that looks like it's making a little bit of a comeback. We may see the dollar and the crosses head a little bit higher. And the Kiwi's trading near the bottom end of its range. But that's about it. Today we've got NAB quarterly business confidence data. Then later on the US jobless claims, home sales, and the Philadelphia manufacturing index. But really the bond auction's going to dominate trade in the session ahead. That's really about it today. If you want a more comprehensive outlook on the currency market, go to the website as usual, www.fxcharts.com.au. Other than that, we'll speak to you tomorrow. Cheers.